Hallmark Campus, redefining tomorrow's standards.
It's nice to be back with you on your program, Hallmark Campus. You're welcome. You had a nice weekend, didn't you? Couldn't have been better if you asked me. Anyhow, my name is Solomon Joseph, and you know what? It's always a bumper on this show. So why don't you just come with me right away and let's roll this way.
Hallmark Campus, redefining tomorrow's standards.
Talking about redefining tomorrow's standards, let's listen to what a cross-section of these students have to say about tertiary institutions in Nigeria. You're welcome to our Bus Pop segment.
The admission, since they introduced the post-UME, it's like schools have always been choosy, as in they tend to choose the kind of people they pick. I know institutions that were established during the early years, many people want to go there, but you just find from the same particular part of the country entering into the institution. So admission should be widened for people that both those are expected to be there and those are not expected to be there, and also to increase the number of people they admit. Like bigger schools like UI, for instance, should be able to admit more students than other schools so that they will have an opportunity to taste education.
So in the admission aspect of the tertiary institution, when you look into it very well, you discover that people will have to do GC or WAEC, take them many years before they can make it. After making their WAEC, they will do JAM. JAM, we have to jam them several times before they make it. After making it, they will come to higher institution and they will begin to tell them to do post-JAM. And that post-JAM is irrelevant to you as far as I'm concerned. That's my own subjective opinion on that. So many of them know the kind of people they are going to admit because they must have collected bribe and whatever. And even if there is any person that is allowed to be admitted and you discover that they need to ask that person different kind of questions that they don't supposed to ask, that can make that person to even lose that admission.
Let's take UI for example. They are different in terms of dressing. There are many other tertiary institutions, like let's take for example Lagos State, the way they dress, and they look more interest on fashion more than their education. I think dress code in tertiary institutions should be looked up to because the students seem to divert more on the way they dress than the interest they have for their books. So I think they should try to look at the way they dress and everything, try to correct it so that they will divert their attention from their dress code to their books.
So what would be your own comment on tertiary institutions in Nigeria? I have so much to talk about, did you say? Well, while you rack your brains about that, let's check out our commentary segment where Victoria Amuson reads to us about love being a game.
Mike and Bumi have been faithful lovers for ages to the commendation of their folks. But then comes the school holiday, a period when the couple should have great moments together. But the lady decides to spend a good part of the vacation in Jos with her parents. Mike does not fancy the idea, but he could understand. While in Jos, Bumi flirts with Gabriel, unaware that he's her fiancé's longtime bosom friend. Gabriel returns to the city and meets with Mike and tells him about his holiday love. Mike quickly understands the true picture of the lady involved and breaks up with her. This synopsis is a collective issue of love abuse and two-timing among students, called from the Swift Affairs series. Well, love. It always starts from somewhere, often as lust, and ends up somewhere usually unpredictable. Vulgar errors. The love which reigns between the opposite sex is now a victim of circumstance in our society. Soon, the school holiday will be on once again, and as usual, love will be abused to the highest degree. Tears will flow, hearts will be broken, enmity will be built, and regrets will be honorably admitted. But joy can only be based on probability. Listen to another one, still from the Swift Affairs collection. From a long time she had kept her virginity, a well-behaved girl, but the next night I couldn't believe she was a whore. She came back after I had returned from the early morning church service. But so soon, her holiday was over that Sunday afternoon, and I drove her to the airport. All through the journey, she was quiet and sad. But the moment she walked off the gangplank into the plane, I was rooted to a spot, remembering how terrible she had become. And in the process, I couldn't control the stubborn tears that stripped my cheeks. Bisi was no longer the gem of a girl I used to know. once you are chained horribly. Love abuse, it goes on and on and on. But who is to blame? Most youth flirt just for the financial benefits and sexual pleasure. But flirtation can be considered a matter of individual principles and priority. In a man-woman relationship, the vital idea is to build and strive to maintain perfection that can culminate in an interesting and lasting marriage. As such, if you must go into a relationship and you don't have the vision, you had better not get involved. Today, amongst youth, love is played like a game of football. The person meets with the opposite sex, tells a beautiful story, and dribbles his way into the goalpost. There and then, if the goal is conceded, it is either annulled or negotiated on various grounds. But the issue of marriage is usually hardly considered. From the story synopsis read out earlier, Bumi destroyed her ever-promising relationship with Mike, found unfaithful even just once. There could be no trust any longer, even on reconciliation, since trust is the basic foundation of any perfect relationship. One thing young lovers should know is that they have a future to realize. As such, care must be taken to guard against whatsoever that could deprive them of a desiring future. So, as youth, if you want a solid love relationship tomorrow, play safe today.
I like the color where I live now. Oh yeah. I like the color where I live now.
Wow, this is a dream come true for great Nigerian students.
Yes, you can win a whopping 50,000 naira every edition from our regular takeaway draws just by sending in your sleep and answer correctly a simple question from
Campus Classified Plus magazine,
also known as KK Plus.
out soon on your campus.
Just our own way of educational support, giving it back to you, even much more.
Campus Classified Plus magazine, unveiling events and programs at doorsteps.
Powered by Sustainability Management Consultancy and Vastanet Technologies. Don't miss it.
Hallmark Campus, redefining tomorrow's standards.
You know what? In my humble opinion, I think that the only way you could convince your spouse about your sincerity and faithfulness is simply by being real and loving without sentiment. It's all about you, really. If you have just tuned in, you're welcome. You're unmistakably onto Hallmark Campus. Last week, we brought you interesting excerpts from our interview with Mr. Akinola Afolabi, the marketing manager of Unilag Radio 103.1 FM. Today, we have the completing part of that segment. Guess what? The station Unilag Radio 102.1 FM has amongst its operational staff students. What's the wisdom behind that?
If you believe strongly in the philosophy of the young shall grow, we must not kill potential. You understand what I'm saying? We must not kill potential. Potentials, according to Oxford Advanced Learners Dictionary, has to do with hidden treasure. You understand? And some of these people are growing. So we believe essentially that part of the essence of the station is a training ground.
The station's coverage strength is established as the whole of the Lagos city. Is the reach limited by choice?
FM precisely is different from AM. So I think covers Lagos State because some people are making a lot of misconceptions about this thing. It's not really about Unilag affair. It covers Lagos State as a whole. I think it's a matter of now, and I think we are growing. In as much as we are growing, there are provision for expansion. So that in line with our motto, expanding the frontier of knowledge. So in as much as we are expanding, sky is not only our limit, our limit is beyond the sky.
Amongst its numerous programs, which would he strongly recommend for his target audience?
Matters arising has to do with issues that are burning national issues. So I think we wake up as a student of journalism every day to be meeting national issues that are burning. And I think there is no day in the history of Nigeria there will be no news. Any day there is no news in Nigeria, I'm afraid I don't know what will happen. So in as much as the issues are arising in Nigeria and we are coming here at the station to exchange ideas, we'll believe that ideas must contest for acceptabilities. We are bringing professors and eminent scholars come and present programs, of course, come and establish their own point of view on what is going on nationally. They can advise, they can recommend some good suggestions and all that. So matters arising have been cleverly designed there to address the modern day issues that are burning. So I think Unilag FM is a better platform to establish our view, and I think most Nigerians are happy with what we are doing, and they are listening to us.
I think it's a good thing that Every campus has a radio station, sort of community radio. After all, a campus is a community. So what's your take on that? Okay, it's time to roll our request segment. The lucky entry this week is from Uche Momeha, a student of Theatre Arts Department, University of Ibadan. He's sending his request to his family, the Momeha family, that is.
I want to make a request to my family, the Momeya family. Now they've been the greatest source of inspiration for me because they look up to me and I also look up to them. And when I remember about my family, I won't want to go astray. And surely wherever I go to, I tend to face squarely what I've gone there to do and uplift the name of the family.
So as usual on this program, to the Momeya family, we say congratulations.
Hallmark Campus, redefining tomorrow's standards.
Wow, it's time to say bye-bye once again on this program. Nice to know you've been there on the other side in the last 25 minutes or thereabout. Of course, together we'll do it again next week, God willing. This has been a production of Oluwatoyin Balogun and the studio manager, Funke Adesina. I'm Solomon Joseph. Love you. Bye for now.